How's it going, guys? Boy in a Scanner here, and today I'm looking at the SDS100 and I'm just going to show you how I set up multiple departments inside of a conventional frequency system here on the SDS100 manually, and just kind of how I program things manually. In my location here in Idaho, I actually have an amateur radio repeater system that goes all the way up from close to Montana over to Boise, Idaho, and that Oregon side, over down through Idaho, central Idaho, and down into Utah, all the way through Utah, down I-15, and into Las Vegas, and I believe parts of Arizona. So I've actually programmed this repeater system in here. It's not on radio reference that I could find, so I just manually programmed it in here. And I'm going to show you really quick how I did that. So you'll notice I am on it right now. It's the ham intertie, and you'll notice all these different departments scrolling through here. So I'm just going to show you how I program this. If I'm to go ahead and go into the menu button, what I've done is I've just managed favorites, and then what you want to do starting out is go to new favorites list, and then create that. So once you create it, it's automatically named a default name. So I'll go ahead and rename it, and then you just edit the name here. I'm going to go ahead and delete this though for now. I'm going to go into that other system. So what I did was I just named that ham intertie, and I'm going to scroll in here to it. So intermount intertie, and if I go into review and edit system, after I built that favorites list, I came in here and did new system. I named it ham intertie. And then I went to edit department, and I added a new department. So I have a few different sections of this repeater system. So I wanted them all divided out. I wanted the direct linked frequencies. I wanted the people from the south, I believe this is down through southern Utah and Nevada and Arizona. And then northern linked, which is the area that I'm in, up through, southern Idaho, northern Utah, and up towards Montana and over to Boise and stuff like that. So I just made a new department and then named each one these different department names that I came up with, and I just kind of went by what I found online for the system. So in direct linked, all I did was I went to edit channel, and then I went to new channel, and what you can then do is name the channel, which I've done here. I've named each one of these for each repeater location. And if I go in here, you can see, so when you create a new one, you'll come in here and you'll go to edit frequency, and then you can just punch that frequency in and hit enter, and then you can actually edit the name. And then what I've done is in modulation, I leave that to NFM, since I know that this amateur frequency is narrow FM. Attenuator, I just leave those off. Set service type, and I change that to ham. Delay time, I just leave at 2 seconds. Priority, I've got that turned off. Alert, I don't mess around with any of that stuff. And then obviously avoid, I don't want it to be avoided. Another cool thing about this radio is the volume offset. So for each individual frequency, you can have a different volume. So if I wanted this channel, if I know this channel is fairly quiet most of the time, I could go ahead and make it a +3 for the volume. So when this frequency comes on, it'll be louder. Or I can make this frequency quiet, whatever I want to do. I just leave those at 0 though. I haven't had any issues with volume, except for some people just on the ham channels that talk quietly. But for the most part, they're all semi-equal in volume. But that is definitely a cool feature right there. So that is my setting. So if I go through these again, modulation, narrow FM for ham, radio, attenuator off, service type ham, delay time, left it at 2 seconds, priority off, alert, don't mess with any of that stuff or any of this. And then if I go back, I can add another new channel, for example, and edit the frequency, put that in, edit the name, and do the exact same thing for all of these different repeater locations. And then if I come back to the department area, so we were just in direct link. So if I go into that, you can actually change So here are the channels. So if I go back to just the department, I can change the filter, and I have those set to off because these are analog frequencies. If those were digital frequencies, I might want to try like wide invert, which a lot of people have had good luck with, including myself. But for conventional, I just leave off. They come through a little cleaner. And Southern, I did the same thing. I know these are all conventional frequencies, so I've done the exact same thing inside of each of these. I have all these different locations and then the frequencies, and then I put the name in there, audio type, analog only. That was another thing I just forgot to show you. I put in analog only for the audio type on the channel. So audio type analog, and then I put number tags in here, 1 through 22, I believe, just to kind of keep them in order. You don't have to do that. Set modulation, again, narrow FM for ham, attenuator off, service type ham, delay time 2 seconds, and then etc. So I've done that 3 different times. These are all analog, so the filter for each department is all set up as off. But if I was to do a new department and say I had digital, if I put a new department in here and it was all digital frequencies, then I could come in there and set maybe that one just to wide invert. So there's a lot of different options there, you know, as far as kind of dividing up things to make things work a little, tweak things to make things work a little bit better for you. And I really suggest you sit down and do a lot of this stuff. It'll make your listening experience a lot better. So that's kind of how I mix up and, you know, program things manually, like I did with this intermount and intertie. Anyway, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I know this was kind of a quick video. I've been learning a lot about this scanner and how to kind of do things manually. There's, you know, Sentinel is really great, and I'll be doing some videos on that at some point as well soon, just kind of showing you how I set things up there. But very cool scanner to just play around with, you know, manually. So hopefully this helps. Go ahead and subscribe if you found this valuable. Share with a friend, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.